Talk Radio 1450 WCTC. Call Jersey Central at 732-545-9282. Toll free at 888-545-9282. Watch Jersey Central live online at WCTCAM.com or listen on your smartphone with the iHeartRadio or TuneIn apps. Connect with WCTC on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube by searching 1450 WCTC. And now back to Jersey's Morning Show. Jersey Central with Bert Barron.
It's 7:38, so we're back on Jersey Central on the new Talk Radio 1450 WCTC, the voice of Central Jersey. We're inside the Forge Jeweler Studios with you today. Your chance to win that 4-pack of vouchers to Disney on Ice and Passport to Adventure is coming up in just a bit. Also, our lifestyle coach, Carl Romaine, is going to join us in just a bit as well with some tips on our New Year's resolutions. But joining me now on the Jersey Central Newsmaker Hotline, I want to welcome in from the Toy Industry Association. She's known as the Toy Safety Mom. Here to talk about ways just to make sure that our kids are playing with the new toys and their gifts safely. And how can you be sure if there was a gift that was maybe given from a friend or a family member, if it's the appropriate toy for them? Let's welcome in Joan Lawrence to Jersey Central this morning. Hey, Joan, it's Bert Barron. How are you today?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
I'm well. Good to talk to you. And, the gifts have been unwrapped, the paper's been thrown away, and we're playing with the toys now. How do we know if a toy is age appropriate and if it's an appropriate toy to be given as a gift to a boy or a girl?
Well, on the front of the packaging, toys have an age grading, and that tells you what the appropriate age for that toy is, and it's important to match it to the age of the child. It's not about how smart a child may be. It's actually safety guidance based on the developmental abilities of a child at a given age, and it's important to match those to the toy.
And it seems like one of the other concerns that parents have, Joan, has to do with choking hazards in small parts. That's something that parents and grandparents have to pay very close attention to, right?
That's right. Small parts are a concern for children under 3 and those who still may put items in their mouths. So toys, the age grade is included in the age grade takes into consideration small parts. If it's marked for children over 3, it has small parts. If it's for children under 3, it would not have small parts because of that. And so that's yet another reason why you want to pay attention to that age grade and not ignore it.
First thing that comes to mind for me, Joan, is Legos. I grew up on Legos as a kid here in New Jersey, and that's nothing but small parts, right? So that's a special concern right there.
You're right. And you'll notice that Lego packages are very prominently age-graded, and so it's important to follow that age grade. Lego does make products that are appropriate for children under 3, and you'll see that on the package as well.
I'm concerned also about battery safety, and when you have toys, we got all these gadgets now that have batteries. Some have those little, like a little disc battery, which is a big-time choking hazard for kids. So what do parents need to know about battery safety for toys?
That's right. Batteries is a big concern. We consider it one of the hidden hazards. If a child ingests or swallows a small battery, including those coin size, or even small AAAs, there is a real concern because the battery can actually burn internal tissue. It's a big issue. Toys, however, have long had a standard that the batteries must be inaccessible to the child. It actually has a locking mechanism on the battery compartment on a toy. But the other products in our home, and you're right, batteries are everywhere in our homes, they don't have that locking mechanism. So you really need to make sure that batteries are kept away from children from these very common items, the remote control, a clock, a hearing aid, all kinds of things in our homes.
Our guest this morning on WCTC is the Toy Industry Association's Toy Safety Mom. I love that name. Joan Lawrence is here with us. We're talking about safety and precautions when it comes to new toys. Of course, everybody's got their toys, and hopefully they're playing with them safely, we hope. How about storage for toys, Joan? I had a toy box. I would just dump everything on top of everything else, and I had my big box of toys. There's probably a better way to store toys nowadays, right?
Well, there are lots of options now. There are choices for making storage accessible and easier for kids to use. In our day, when we were kids, they were hard, they were heavy, they were wooden, and they may have had some hazards, pinched fingers and things like that. Now there are lighter weight options. There are things that are easy for kids to use. They're portable in some cases. And it's really important to teach our children to clean up their toys, to store them properly. So many of the incidents, the injuries we see are the result of slips and trips and falls, not just by children in their play space, but by adults. I mean, who among us has not stepped on a toy car or a building block in the middle of the night? And those are the kinds of things we're trying to avoid.
Feels good, right? A Lego brick on the bottom of a bare foot. Nothing like it, right? Always feels
No
good.
pain like it, that's right.
Feels good, that's for sure. What's a favorite toy? What do you think is the ideal toy, Joan? If you were to purchase any toy for any child, what's your favorite toy of all time?
Oh, that's a hard one because the age grading is so important. And as long as you match the age grade on the toy to the age of the child, you're on the right track. But if you forced me to pick something, I'm a big fan of board games. We had some new ones brought into our home for the holidays. I went through and actually read the instructions along with my children on how to play Clue, one of my favorite board games from when I was a kid. But I had to read the instructions to them because kids don't come with preconceived notions. They don't know how a toy or game is played with. And so it's important to go through how to play with a toy with your children, even demonstrate safe play. I love to get down on the floor and play along with my kids, and we've had some great board games already this holiday season.
Awesome stuff. Where can people go to get some more information about the Toy Industry Association, Joan?
We have a website called playsafe.org, and it has these tips and more on how to choose appropriate toys for your children and how to ensure safe play once you bring a toy into the home.
Terrific. Great speaking with you this morning on WCTC, and we can't wait to see what the hot toys are going to be next year already, and I'm sure we'll have you back on to share some safety information about that, all right? Happy New Year to you, Joan, okay?
Thank you. You too.
All right, thank you. Joan Lawrence, my guest on the Jersey